Have you ever came across those videos in which students are moving their hands like this in air rapidly and wondered what are they doing and how are they calculating so fast? Well, I made a video on this topic which was on cheese and bob, known as finger mathematics, or as I call it, the kung fu mathematics, which you guys really loved. It got over 20 lakh views. But there was a problem. A lot of you pointed out that on our fingers we can go up to 99 very easily, but after that the calculations are becoming so tough. They cannot represent numbers, their fingers are not bending properly, and it's very hard. And in those videos, those guys are doing it very easily. So is it that they practiced a lot, or is there some other secret, or are they doing something different? And the answer is yes. In those videos in which the students are moving their hands like this really fast, they are not doing cheese and bob, aka finger mathematics. They are doing something similar, which simply leads us to this thing, a Soroban. What's this? It is a Japanese variant of an abacus, which is specifically used by people to do really fast calculations. So what those guys do in those videos is that they first learn this Soroban. It is similar to that finger mathematics. In place of fingers, we represent numbers on beads on this and then move those beads to do lightning fast calculations. And what happens is that over time, they stop using this physical thing and start to imagining this Soroban in their head. And then with this movement, they are simply moving these beads up and down in that mental abacus to do those really fast calculations. You might say, why do all this? Just simply calculate in your head, like do 4 plus 5, 6 plus 7 and so on. Why needing this Soroban? And the catch is that our brain is really good at visualization and not that good at calculation. See, if I tell you, imagine your kitchen, you going into it, looking at different things, you can do it very easily, right? But if I tell you, do 756 plus 467, it's harder compared to that. Why? Because our brain is really good at visualization. And secondly, it's very hard to store numbers in our head because they don't have a property. Like 4 doesn't have a property to it. It's just a shape. But when you start to represent 4 on this gives that a visualization advantage, and also by moving those beads on a 4, you can perform calculation visually. And our brain is really good at doing visual things. And it's so good, even if I tell you not to imagine an apple, it will imagine an apple. This simply makes mental calculation more tactile, easier and much faster. That's why those guys do this and calculate really fast. And one thing I would like to tell you, since a lot of parents watch my channel, if you teach this Soroban to kids, especially at young age, it helps them in a lot of brain development because it trains visual and spatial memory. And like when kids learn math, they have some fear of numbers. This thing simply removes that fear because kids now can visually represent numbers. They can simply understand it more. So I will highly encourage teaching this to kids who already know like what numbers are but have trouble in math. So this is why in this video series I will teach you this basics of Soroban and how to master it, so that at the end you can transition from physically calculating on this Soroban to mentally calculating on an imaginary Soroban, and that can help you calculate really fast, even faster than left to right method. So let's begin. So before starting this video, I would like to tell you that I have recently started a new WhatsApp channel where I can easily broadcast new channel updates, some insider news and cool simple tricks. So do join that from the link in the description of this video or from the card right up here. And also be sure to connect and follow me on LinkedIn. And also to fully benefit from this series, you actually need to get a Soroban. So you can buy the one I'm using from the tagged products or from the link in the description of this video. So now let's hop on to Soroban and learn the basics. So this is what a Soroban looks like. It's very simple. See, there is this outer frame on which there are these rods, and on these rods there are these beads which we can move. One interesting thing is that there is this horizontal beam above which there is this set of 1 bead on each rod. These beads are called heaven beads and they remain stuck to the top, like each bead touched to the top. and the beads below this are called earth beads, and they remain stuck to the bottom, like all these beads touch to the bottom. So these beads have really cool names. So now if you are observant enough, you must have noticed these dots. This center one represents the ones place, then this tens, this hundreds, and so on. And to the right of this, these represents decimal digits. For learning Soroban, we will not focus on decimal digits for now. So it's just like the regular number system where digits toward the left represent like ones, tens, hundred, thousands, and so on. Now step 1 in learning Soroban is to learn how to represent numbers on it. So see, a Soroban where all the heaven beads are up and the earth beads are down represents 0. Okay, each rod is just representing a 0. Now see, this center one is the ones place. Now suppose you want to represent 1 on it. How would you do it? It's very simple. You just have to move this bead up. This represents a 1. Then for 2, 3 and 4. Now what will you do? Here this heaven beads come into picture. Now to represent 5, what you do is this. All the earth beads down and a heaven bead down. Each heaven bead represent a multiple of 5. Okay, so this is 5, this is 10, so this is 50 and so on. So this is 5. Then to represent 6 again, because this is 1, so 5 plus 1 is 6, 7, 8 and 9. So in this unit digit rod, you can represent numbers from 1 to 9. This is similar to how we did on our hands when we were learning finger mathematics. Now one important point I would like to tell you is that for moving these beads, be consistent with what fingers you are using. Since in future you will transition into a mental abacus and will try to move hands, there being consistent with your fingers will help you a lot. So for moving earth beads up, always use your thumb like this, and for doing everything else, use your index finger, like moving these down. This will simply help you when you will transition from this physical Soroban to a mental Soroban. You have to tell me what is this? What is this? It's a 10. Okay. Now what is this? 20, 30, 40. Now 50, what we will do? These down and this down. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So this is as simple as that. Now suppose you want to represent 76 on a Soroban. So let's represent 6 on the unit rod. So this is 6, 5 and 6. And we have to represent 7 here. So what we will do is this, simply 5, 6 and 7. So this is simply 76 represented on a Soroban. Now you have to tell me what is this. What is this? This is 99 represented on a Soroban, the max we could do with our hands, because we have 2 hands. That's why we could easily go till 99. And after that we would need to invent new ways to represent numbers on our hands, which were pretty difficult. So our 2 hands were like 2 rods. But the advantage here in the Soroban, we have a lot of rods. So now let's do it. So what is this? So what is this? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 and 900. So now let's represent 932, 930 and 2. This is 932. So this is how simply you can represent numbers on a Soroban. Now simply tell me what happens if I do this. This is 999. So with 3 rods we can go till 999. Now similarly like this, if I do this, this is simply 999999999. So with this Soroban you can represent numbers till this big number. Now there is a very cool thing, like suppose you don't want to include decimal digits at all. So you can always use this rod as a unit rod, right? So what you can do is that start the unit digits from here. Then it's really cool. You simply can go till 9999999, 999, 999, 999, 99. So you can represent this big number on a Soroban. But if we follow the standard procedure, then we go with this center rod. Now for practicing, I will just ask you to represent these numbers on a Soroban. I will also tell you the answer. So represent these numbers and the answer will follow. So if you did it, this was how easily you can represent numbers on a Soroban. So this was it for this video. In the next video, we will learn to add digits on a Soroban. And for now, we will not go into decimal digits. So thanks for watching this video, and always remember that math is everything.